Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear students, Prep 3, get ready for some important things you have to pay attention when you are in Prep 3. This is the first question in the exam paper. In this question, you are dealing with the dialogue. In order to answer the dialogue question, first, you have to read carefully what is going on in this dialogue. What is going on? I mean, what is happening? Here, Mona and Sahar meet in the afternoon. Mona asks Sahar about what she is going to do in the evening. This is the main subject, conversation between Mona and Sahar. Now, we go to the questions. First, you read from the beginning to the end and pay attention to the question punctuation marks. If it is question mark, you have to make a question. If it is full stop, you have to make a sentence. Let's read. Mona, good afternoon, Sahar. Sahar, good afternoon, Mona. And then Mona is asking question because there's a question mark here, so it is a question. And in the answer, Sahar says, I'm going to the airport this evening. The most important point here is the airport. It's a place, which means that you have to make a question asking about places. The question starts with where. First, you put where, and then the helping verb. The helping verbs are, we take this verb from the verb in the answer, verb to be am. Why it becomes are? Because we changed the subject I into you, and then we put are before the subject. And then we continue the sentence, but pay attention. Don't put the answer in the question. I mean, don't put the airport in the question because this is the thing you are asking about. And then Mona says something which is a question, and Sahar says in the answer, to meet my father. He's coming from Kuwait. He's coming from Kuwait to meet my father. What is the main point here? The main point is that Mona wants to know why is Sahar going to the airport. When we ask about a reason, we use why. And then the helping verb are. As we said, because we change I into you, so we change am into are. And we are asking about the reason. This is the thing we are asking about, to meet my father. So we don't put it in the question. Why are you going there? And then Mona asks another question. Sahar in the answer says, his plane will arrive at 10 p.m. All right. So here we have a time. When we want to ask about time, we use when. And the helping verb is will. We use it because we have it in the answer. The question will be, when will his plane arrive? We are asking about time, so pay attention not to put the time in the question. The main rule here, we start in question with question word, helping verb like am, is, are, do, does, did, can, could, and so on and so forth. And then we put the subject, and then we put the verb in the infinitive. If we use do or does, we put the infinitive. If we use are or am and we have ing, we put the verb with ing. And the complement, and it is optional. Sometimes we don't need any complement, sometimes we put it. This is according to the answer we are using to make question. The next part in our revision today is how to deal with a paragraph question. First, my students, we read the topic. The topic here is a visit to the pyramids. And here are the guiding words which are helping you to write. We have two main options here. If you are good in English, use the words to generate ideas and write them immediately. But if you are not sure about your English, think in Arabic and then translate it in English. I don't prefer this way, but it works with the students who are struggling with English. In order to write a good paragraph, you have to make introduction, then the body, then the conclusion. In the introduction, we say, I want to tell you about. The words in red are stable with you in any paragraph. I wanted to tell you about. And then you put the title. Here is the title, My Visit to the Pyramids. And then you talk about time. In the guiding words he gave you last Friday, it's time in the past. So when you use last Friday, you use all the verbs in the past. I mean the second verb, which is went. For example, last Friday I went to the pyramids. Why we put comma? Remember, after full stop, we start with capital letter. After time word like last Friday, we put comma. And remember that I is capital when we use it to talk about the subject in any part of the sentence. And then we end the sentence with full stop. After that, we talk about people. He gave us here a guiding word, friends. So we use it to make a sentence. Simple subject, I or we, don't make any difference. And then the verb went, and then the complement with my friends, or with my family, or with my family and my friends. It doesn't make any difference. But remember, pay attention to the punctuation mark, the full stop, the capital letter, the comma, and pay attention that when you start with the time word, you put comma. And then we talk about transportation. How did you go there? We went by car. You can use bus. We went by bus. You can use on foot. We went on foot. And then the details. When you come to the detail point, use the transition words like first, after that, next, finally. When you start with the transition word, follow them immediately with comma, like that. First, we wrote camels. They were huge and amazing. This is a detail about camel. I added detail, but you can go without it. It doesn't make any difference because your target is 5 sentences, but you need detail if you are making 120 words. They were huge and amazing. After that, we took some photos. They were funny. Finally, we met some tourists. They were listening to the tourist guide. It was really fun. We enjoyed ourselves a lot. And then the conclusion word. That's all about. And again, you put the title of the paragraph. That's all about my visit to the pyramids. And that's the easy way to deal with a paragraph. And if you wanted to write good paragraphs, you have to read many sample paragraphs because when you read a lot, you could write better. Here is a grammar point I want to talk to you about it. How to use both, neither, and either. First, remember, both is followed with plural verb without singular s. Both Ali and Mona like. Here we put like without s because the subject is plural. Two subject words connected with and. And when you use either or, the verb follows the second subject. If it is singular, the verb is singular. If it is plural, the verb is plural. Either Ali or his friends have. The verb is plural because the second subject is friends, plural subject. Either my brothers or my sister is. Here, the second subject is singular, so the verb is singular. And when we come to neither nor, it is the same. The verb follows the second subject. Neither Heba nor Asser speaks German. The verb speaks is singular because the second subject is singular. Neither Samira nor her parents are. The verb is plural because the second subject is plural. Now test yourself in these simple questions. Here, correct the words in brackets. Both Ali and his friends is can't go because when we use both, the verb is plural, so the correct answer is are. The shop is either interesting nor cheap. We can't use either with the connecting word nor, but we should use yes, neither. Excellent. Neither Summer nor her friends has. When we talked about neither, we knew that the verb follows the second subject. The second subject is plural, has a singular verb, so we have to make it have a plural verb. Last Tuesday, I go shopping. Here, past simple. So we have to put the verb in the second form, which is went, because go is the irregular verb. When I went home yesterday, it rained heavily. Here, when is a connecting word. It connects past simple and past continuous. The first sentence following the when is past simple, and the second sentence in past continuous. So we have to use was and verb plus ing because the subject is it. It will be, yes, was raining. The other way around is here, as followed by past continuous and then past simple. So we have to put the first sentence in past continuous. It will be, yes, as I was writing. Okay, that's all for today, my dear students. I hope it was helpful for you, and see you again in other sessions. God bless you and goodbye.